local favorite, especially among the thirsty residents of the park. Business was indeed flourishing beyond his wildest dreams. However, Bubbles confessed to feeling a significant amount of logistical pressure on that particular day. He explained that Ricky was preparing to make a major, mysterious announcement and had decided to throw an extravagant party to celebrate the occasion. To adequately accommodate the numerous expected guests, Ricky had officially ordered 22 individual 4-packs of the custom-brewed beverage. Bubbles logically deduced that the impending news must be of monumental importance to warrant such a massive order. He expressed his sheer excitement and anticipation as Julian and Pops arrived at his brewing station. Julian, always the observant one, warmly inquired about the general prosperity of the brewing enterprise. Bubbles enthusiastically confirmed its massive success, noting with a bright smile that it was far more rewarding and significantly less strenuous than his previous, physically demanding occupation of retrieving stray shopping carts from local parking lots. Julian, closely observing the undeniable success of the operation, playfully suggested a collaborative marketing effort. He proposed that Bubbles should create a specific, health-conscious beverage featuring Julian's name and muscular likeness. Bubbles considered the creative idea, thinking that a protein-infused nutritional drink named Muscle Man could be a highly humorous and potentially lucrative addition to his growing product line. Julian, ever the pragmatic and forward-thinking businessman, pressed Bubbles for more detailed financial specifics regarding the operation. He formally inquired about the current market valuation of the brewing company and the precise weekly profit margins on his overall sales. Bubbles, quickly recognizing Julian's sudden and intense interest following the undeniable manifestation of real profits, politely but firmly warned him not to attempt a hostile corporate takeover. Bubbles confidently stated that he too consumed educational business television programs on a regular basis and was intimately familiar with all the complex economic terminology Julian was actively employing. Despite the current brewing success, Bubbles vulnerably admitted to experiencing a period of temporary financial hardship. He explained to his friends that his noble transition to a fully legitimate lifestyle was fraught with unexpected challenges. He recounted a recent evening where he had hosted a romantic movie date at his home, but due to his temporary lack of liquid funds, his lovely companion was unfortunately forced to purchase the necessary snacks. He expressed profound and lingering embarrassment over the awkward situation. Julian dismissively suggested that attending the cinema was generally an unnecessary and exorbitant expense, but Bubbles gently clarified that the date had actually occurred in the comfort of his own residence and he simply lacked the minor resources required for microwave popcorn. He steadfastly rejected Julian's generous offer of financial assistance, proudly refusing to accept charity from his friend. The conversation naturally shifted as Ricky arrived on the scene, loudly complaining about a minor scratch on his pet cat that required constant attention and medical bandaging. Ricky's arm was noticeably wrapped in a thick bandage. When Julian and Bubbles questioned him about the obvious injury, Ricky quickly deflected the attention, launching instead into a passionate soliloquy about his rapidly developing romantic relationship with a woman named Susan. He explained that he had been actively courting her for several months and found the entire experience to be overwhelmingly positive and life-changing. He expressed a deep, newfound appreciation for having a dedicated partner to share his daily life and aspirations with. While he freely admitted that she possessed a strong and sometimes challenging personality that required patience, he emphasized that their emotional and physical connection was profoundly fulfilling, which in turn was deeply motivating him to prioritize his overall physical health and daily fitness routine. Julian, however, harbored silent, protective reservations. He was genuinely pleased that Ricky had finally found companionship and happiness, but Susan's commanding presence and her subtle manipulation of Ricky's personal decisions caused Julian considerable concern. The focus of the group quickly returned to Ricky's heavily bandaged arm. Ricky smoothly explained that the unfortunate injury had occurred during a recreational athletic outing involving rollerblades and skis with his friends Corey and Jacob. He vividly described the exhilarating speed of their downhill descent, which was abruptly and painfully halted by an unexpected and highly treacherous patch of loose gravel on the pathway. The resulting fall was severe, with Jacob unfortunately sustaining the absolute brunt of the physical impact. Ricky vehemently criticized the very existence of gravel on public walkways, deeming it entirely unsuitable and dangerous for their innovative hybrid sport. Julian remained highly skeptical of the elaborate story, questioning the origin of the specialized rollerblades and gently insinuating that they might have been illicitly acquired. Ricky defensively justified their actions, firmly claiming that the sporting equipment was legitimately and legally obtained from a newly established retail establishment called the I Read Everything store. The narrative took a much more serious and emotional turn as Ricky later confronted his family members. Trinity and the others immediately noticed strange debris embedded in Jacob's clothing, which Ricky initially and clumsily attempted to attribute to the loose gravel from their fabricated athletic accident. However, the truth could not be concealed from his perceptive family for long. The debris was clearly from the chaotic encounter in the woods the previous night. Ricky, suddenly overwhelmed by a deep sense of guilt and responsibility, finally confessed his season-long deception to his loved ones. He sorrowfully admitted that he had not actually been pursuing his small engine repair certification as he had told them, nor had he officially enrolled in the heavy crane operator's course as he had previously and proudly claimed. Instead, he had been independently and secretly cultivating a vast agricultural botanical project near the area known as Billy Bastard's Bluff. Trinity expressed her profound and heartbreaking disappointment at his broken promises and his return to his old habits. Ricky offered a highly sincere and emotionally charged apology, attempting to soften the blow by describing the truly exceptional quality of his agricultural harvest and the highly sophisticated water irrigation system he had personally designed and implemented for his 75 tall plants. He deeply mourned the tragic loss of a highly lucrative, singular transaction that would have permanently secured his financial independence and allowed him to provide endlessly for his family. He detailed the frightening events of the previous night, taking full and unwavering responsibility for dangerously involving Jacob and Corey in the situation. He recounted how unknown individuals had unexpectedly arrived, harvested his entire crop prematurely, stolen his life's work, and created a highly dangerous and chaotic environment that frightened them all. He expressed intense, visible frustration over losing his one true chance at a peaceful early retirement. The family gently but firmly urged him to permanently abandon his lingering desire for retaliation and simply accept the financial loss as a valuable learning experience. They astutely anticipated that his promised major announcement later that day would inevitably involve further illicit or poorly planned activities. Ricky passionately denied this assumption, firmly insisting that his upcoming grand revelation was entirely unrelated to his recent agricultural mishap and was of a significantly grander, much more positive scale. Meanwhile, a profound sense of emotional liberation washed over Mr. Leahy and Randy as they actively prepared for their official release from the local holding facility. They quietly reflected on the numerous hardships they had endured together and the bright, fresh start that eagerly awaited them on the outside. Despite losing many of their material possessions during their ordeal, they found immense solace and strength in their enduring bond and their deep mutual affection for one another. Their challenging time in confinement had ironically and beautifully strengthened their relationship, fostering a much deeper understanding, patience, and genuine appreciation for each other's unique qualities. Their highly optimistic departure was suddenly interrupted by the quiet approach of Officer Ted. Ted politely acknowledged their impending freedom but presented them with a highly complex moral and financial situation. He confirmed to them that the $400,000 that had been officially seized during their initial arrest was originally destined to be handed over to the state authorities under the standard proceeds of crime legislation, where it would likely languish in a dusty evidence facility indefinitely. However, Ted, astutely recognizing the severe resource deficiencies and outdated technology within his own police department, had unilaterally and quietly decided to redirect the confiscated funds. His noble intention was to purchase brand new computers, highly advanced forensic equipment, and a modern, fully equipped patrol vehicle to better serve the community. To absolutely ensure their permanent silence regarding this highly unorthodox and technically improper reallocation of government funds, Ted offered Mr. Leahy and Randy